We're down here by the chicken coop, and a few things are different. It looks like there's some brand new wood chips on the ground. All of this stuff here is different than when we were here just, 2 months ago? Month and a half ago? Hello from Norway. And apparently Sweden. How often do you reapply the mulch? Because I know that this wasn't here a couple months ago when I came in, and now we have...
See, this is once I took the potatoes off, and it's available to cover. So anytime that you remove things, and like see my garden, that downside there, that will go all winter, but everything up front, except the kale, will be all gone. So that place, this fall, winter, I'll put the cover on. So as space becomes available, I'm not growing something, that's the time I'll put cover, and I'll intentionally realize like this is going to need some attention, so I'll plant stuff, or I'll make a point that I won't have anything there, so I can have time and space to do the covering.
Because I know you don't put the wood chips down every year, but...
No. And again, I'm just operating out of convenience when I have time, or if I see a space that looks like it needs attention, I'll address it, but in most cases, it's just maintenance. It's just, when you have time, do it, and it's just like you're covering the bases.
Today was the first time that I heard you say that you only put the, all the stuff from your chicken coop into just the vegetable garden, but not the orchard?
Not the orchard.
How come?
Because it's limited, and this really fine stuff is nice to plant little seeds. When the orchard, I plant some seeds and I just throw them in the air, so it's just much more convenient to take this really premium stuff and use in my garden spaces, because in the orchard, because the tree's already established, it doesn't matter how dense or how thick or what the state of it's no problem, because it's all breaking down and planting small seeds. So this really fine stuff is ideal in my garden for planting small seeds.
Well, if you had like the compost and stuff, do you pull back the upper layer of the wood chips to put the compost in, or do you just spread it out on top?
This is something, again, God never mixes, or he doesn't pull back, he just lays. And so I'm getting whatever I'm applying, just put on what's over there. Don't do any change. Just layer. Just put on layers. Because that's what he does. And again, it just saves a lot of work.
If you put the compost on top of, say like right here on top of these wood chips, wouldn't that grow like more of like the weeds and stuff like that on the compost itself? Because there's no wood chips to block it?
Well, if I'm not watering, I'm not going to have weeds no matter what's in the ground. And when I do water and it rains, in my wood chips I have all kinds of weeds. So I'm finding that it has no difference, whatever material is, weeds grow fine in it, if given the proper moisture.
These people have been in a drought for almost a decade. Would you recommend spacing plants further apart than, say, like you do right now, so they can get more, I guess, access to moisture?
You still get the same moisture no matter how close they're apart, because gravity works, everything comes down. It's not going up, so it's going to either absorb by the foliage or it gets to the ground, but it's all coming down. And see, the covering, like, I show every place I move in my rake, it's quickly damp, so it just never dries out in the cover. So it's so amazing with the people in the drought in the Midwest. We keep going back every day to go out on our plants and move the witches damp underneath. We realize we don't have to water. It's just, get it? It's just how it works.
This one says, I'm in an agricultural area, and during the spring-summer we receive irrigation every 10 to 12 days, which floods our property a few inches or more with water. How will this affect a back-to-Eden garden? Do I need to adjust anything to allow for regular irrigation?
It's not a problem. Watch the film. The guy in Pennsylvania said that his whole garden was flooded that winter. All the witches were underwater, but they didn't go anywhere. And again, in nature, in the woods, nothing is ever moved. No matter how much water comes down, everything stays in place. And so again, it's just, our whole concept is just so disconnected to nature that we keep having these issues and thinking like, what would happen? Well, it just absorbs. It's like it's major aerated, it's filtered, water, even water standing on it, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's just, nothing ever erodes off the hills. It's just all stays in place.
How long of a growing season do you have?
I have things in my garden the whole year, all year long.